Okay, we're back with another Izzy's take on the world. We're like so far behind in doing videos. Like we've had what I think the last few ones were at New Year's and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been like a month or so. It's been a bit.
Yeah. Um. So our apologies for that. It's like I have been writing my dating stories, so that's really taken front stage as far as what we've been doing. What do you think, Izzy? You've heard a lot of dating stories. Are you now afraid of dating?
I'm not really afraid of dating because I know, if I did really start up any of that stuff, we're, yes, I'm not really afraid of it. Are there lots of messed up people? Would I online date? No, not really. I don't really have it. I'm just gonna let it happen naturally. I mean, if I find someone I'm attracted to at some point in time, then whatever. I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I'm like 44, right? So I'm going to throw myself under the bus as far as telling my age. There's two questions women don't like to answer: age and weight. Like,
Well, yeah, no one wants to tell you. No one wants to hear that you don't want to tell people you're like 150 pounds or something because it's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough for you, Jerry. At least I'm not going to break your bed. God.
right? Exactly. If you're that concerned about my weight, then.
Are you really a good person?
Right, exactly. Well, some people like women who are more well endowed. I mean, that's like a thing. Like there's YouTube videos dedicated to having women eat food, and guys pay them money
I
to
saw
take these.
that.
Right,
I
I'm just
saw
like,
this one girl who this dude would like pay her to eat, and it was like a kink.
right,
He was like, "Oh yeah, baby girl, you better eat up them sausage links."
right, exactly. Like they tell them what to eat. They like go get some 6 cheese pizzas, and I want to see you eat 3 of them. I'm like, you
You're
want to
just like,
see me like
it almost
go
seems
into
like a
3 of
homicide.
right,
Like,
exactly.
who
Just
can
like
get heart disease the fastest?
And I also feel like I'm in the wrong career choice, right? Because like some guys will pay you to watch you eat food. All right, well,
It's like, let's go to Papa John's.
I'm like I'm gonna just eat green peppers and cucumbers. Like I don't know. I'll have a list of foods that I will eat. Strawberries. I'll eat a pint of strawberries.
Yeah, just be like, look at this. You're like, no ice cream, no sugar, no sugar.
Right. So I guess that brings us to Izzy and I have started a diet. Ooh. That said, it's not a diet to lose weight, it's a diet just to help improve our health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what can you explain what our diet's about?
Basically, our diet is cutting out lots of just unhealthy food. So it'll be no sugar. We won't be able to have corn. No steak, beef. It's just chicken and chicken.
Chicken and chicken. And vegetables, right?
Yeah, and fruit. That's it.
But like no peanuts, no peanut oil. So, you can't like eat French fries because that's technically a vegetable. Potatoes and health. But I can eat potatoes. You can eat potatoes. We just can't eat
Without
it
sour cream.
without sour cream or butter, cheese. Yeah, so the no dairy. What's going to be the hardest one, do you think, for you?
I feel like lots of foods have sugar in it, even when you least expect it. Like even sauce has sugar in it. Like lots of sauces out there. So I feel like the no sugar will be hard to avoid because so many things have sugar and you don't even know it.
Right, and it's hidden sugar too, right? Like they name sugar so many different things, like corn syrup, fructose, cane sugar. It's like, but it's all sugar. It all works in the body pretty much the same way. Different syrups like agave syrup and honey and things, those are all sugars. That said, I guess some sugars are better for you than others. Like agave syrup doesn't raise your blood sugar as much as regular sugar. So some of them are allowed, but just in like 1 tablespoon per day. So what do you think is the food that you're gonna like hate to give up the most? Like a certain type of food.
I feel like Chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. Yeah, pizza I think is the hardest one for me. Like, oh my gosh, all the good stuff. That said, I did have a keto-friendly pizza, quote unquote, the other day, and they used chicken as the crust. So it was a thin layer of chicken that it felt very like, kind of like beef jerky type, very thin, but kind of weird. Right, yes, it was weird. And then they put the pizza toppings like the sauce and cheese and other things on top of it. So that said, we're getting rid of cheese. So this was before the official diet started.
So it'd be basically chicken and sauce
and veggies. Yeah, which is kind of like what a chicken cacciatore is, really. So
that just sounds so gross, like having that as a
pizza. Yeah,
like chicken as crust.
People are pretty creative when it comes to these diets. What kind of like cheat do you think that you would see that you would be willing to try? Like, for instance, you can get cauliflower pizza crust, which is supposed to be gluten free. A lot of people add sugar though. But would you want to try something like a cauliflower crust cheeseless pizza?
I mean, sure. I mean, that could be actually really good. I mean, I haven't had it before, but I mean, I'm open to trying new and different things because I mean, it'll make this a less painful diet.
Yeah, that's true. So is there like a food that you hope to substitute out, like, that we can find a substitute for?
Cake,
yeah. I think we kind of worked on that a little bit. We made a date, so dates with banana and rice flour, so that's acceptable, and applesauce. And we baked that. How did that taste for you?
pretty good. Although it's such a pain to make.
It was a pain to make. That said, I didn't realize that the dates still had seeds in them.
But also, I mean, blending it and how it kind of like took half of the food away.
Yeah,
blended.
That's true. It came out to be like enough for like one little tiny kind of like pancake.
Yeah, and it's kind of like with scrambled eggs in general. You cook it up, and then once it's like you can use like 3 to 4 eggs, which I usually do. With some ham or whatever, and then you cook it up, and it's just this small little bowl of eggs, and you're like, how did that happen? Like, there was 3 to 4 eggs, and you're still so small.
A lot of people would be like, 3 to 4 eggs? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of eggs.
Well, I mean, yeah, for leftovers, too. I mean, I'm not going to eat that all in one sitting, I mean.
Oh, okay. So, let's go back to the dating situation. So, you've heard some of my dating stories. Which's the one that you think is most memorable?
I mean, there's lots of memorable ones that I don't think would be appropriate for YouTube.
You're like, I've seen a lot of things on YouTube. I think anything goes, but maybe not for your posts, for your
Yeah,
video.
Maybe that's not something they want to hear from a 13-year-old.
Do you have any, like, thoughts on dating at your age? Like,
okay, you want the truth? Here it is. Here's the truth pie. It only lasts a day. Like, from what I've seen, there's like these couples and everybody's like, oh, they're so cute. And it lasts like a day. Maybe less.
so relationships are in and out. Like, you guys
No, they're just
jump
short.
in, jump out.
It's like, they're like, oh, Martha, I love you. Here's my ring pop. And then the next day he's like, I'm going to need that ring pop back.
We're done.
It's over.
It's over.
We're not. I'm just not committed to this. I can't do it.
This whole 24 hours has shown me what life is really about.
Remember when you pushed me on the swing set too hard and I flew off? Yeah, I do.
So that's so funny because like I've had a lot of dates that were one and done dates. Like I went on, like I talked to the person beforehand, And then I go out with them, and I'm like, holy cow, this person, like, I see why they didn't smile in any of their pictures because their teeth are rotten, you know?
And you're
Like-
wondering, so have you seen the dentist recently? Because you might want to get that checked out.
Right, yes, exactly. You're like, oh my gosh, that takes gum disease to a whole new level. Like, you just, you know, there's deal breakers, right? And you don't get those types of situations.
Remember the dating questions, though?
The dating question?
Yeah, where people ask you, what's your favorite color?
Oh god, I hate that. Oh.
What's your favorite holiday? Do you like rainbows?
So how do you meet guys? I mean, because you like to, like, kind of...
Enough out of you before you say something that's embarrassing and that will hurt my ego. So, I think I know what you're asking. I'm gonna tell you. How do I usually run into guys is what we're gonna keep it at, okay?
You're gonna keep what? Keep it at?
Keep it at that, okay?
Alright.
Okay. So usually I'm just going on for my daily walk for however long I want to do it. And then you see Mr. Bobby over there and you're like, whoa. Whoa. Kind of fine.
He's cute, right?
And then I come back, I'm like, hey, you would not believe this. Kind of like your dating stories, well, I think it's fun to kind of just poke at you. I'm pretty open about that. I'll just be like, hey, you know, I saw this one guy, and he's like, he's fine, he's a full throttle model.
But how do you meet them? Do they come on to you, or do you, like, smile at them?
I don't come on to them. I just watch from a distance. I look, and I'm like, oh, and I just walk on, because I'm not very social, so it's like, people, nah.
So they have to approach you then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. It's just I'm not going to be putting in the effort to walk all the way over a football field to you, even though you're across the sidewalk, but still.
You're like, that's kind of how I feel too, really.
It's like I don't want to do all the work.
Right? I'm like, if you're going to make the moves, you better make the moves, because I'm just going to sit back and...
That's exactly how I do it. That's my whole thought process. I'm like,
come to me, baby.
Look, yeah, it's like, if you're into me, you can come to me.
Stop.
Oh, that's an interruption by Zach.
What?
Alright, so we'll end this video here.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're ruining everything, aren't you? You really had to come in at the wrong time, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh, you silly little goose.
Whatever.
Your voice has gone deeper, I think.
Why are you being so analytical?
Because she's on video. You're still on video. Oh, there's his hairy arm.
Please don't
Alright,
put that
so we will call it a day.